Colorado now has priority for national resources because of the fires burning throughout the state. There's a scale from 1 to 5 called the National Preparedness Level. 5 means you pretty much get whatever you need. We're now a 4. That means our region gets priority for any more resources needed to fight fires. 6 of the largest fires in Colorado right now have 920 firefighters on the ground trying to control and contain. The fires, named 416, Spring Creek, Burrow, Weston, Chateau, and Sugarloaf, have burned more than 164,000 acres. That's the size of Denver 1.5 times. There are 120 engines at those fires. That's 6 times the number of fire engines that South Metro Fire has on any given day. Combined, the 6 fires have destroyed 145 structures and have cost $41 million to fight. The Lake Christine fire, which started at a shooting range near Basalt in Eagle County yesterday, is yet another large fire burning in Colorado, the 7th. It's considered a large fire when it's in timber and has burned more than 100 acres. This one is now almost 2,400. 500 homes are evacuated. So far, no homes have been burned, and the sheriff has warned the town of Basalt, which is between Glenwood Springs and Aspen, they've asked them to prepare to evacuate. Parts of Roaring Fork Valley above Basalt may not have power soon because of the fire. There, the Pitkin County Sheriff's Office says they need to prepare for without power almost up to 72 hours, perhaps. The spring fire burning in southern Colorado is up to 94,000 acres burned. Earlier, we told you 145 structures have burned in 6 of the fires. This one is responsible for destroying more than 100 of those homes. But how about some good news from the spring fire? The manager of the Lodge Motel in Fort Garland has worked there just about a month, and she has converted that motel into a shelter of sorts. Firefighters sleeping in her front office, an older couple getting her bed because she thought it would be more comfy than their car. Motel full of evacuees, kind of a pay it back for the help she got when she was offered the job as manager when she and her husband broke down in their truck earlier this year.
My husband is a truck driver, and we were delivering a load to New Mexico, which is not far from Fort Garland, and the truck broke down. Anybody that knows Fort Garland, this town closes at 8 o'clock. We walk into Algon's restaurant, and the young lady there, I don't know what we looked like, but it must have been bad because she was like, "I will feed you." So she fed us. We ended up staying here for about a week, and during that time, this was in March of this year, Judy didn't charge us. She let us stay here for free. During the time we were here, Judy and I developed a relationship. She offered me a job here. Being in here and dealing with everybody throughout the day, there's been so many emotions, and just seeing so much strength in them coming back, and I can just only pray that I get an ounce of that from any one of these people.
How about that? Now, postal workers are known for delivering mail in all conditions, but how often do you hear about them retrieving mail? The Postal Service is not delivering to some areas in Fort Garland and Levita because the homes are evacuated. But how about this for dedication? Firefighters escorted some postal workers into the evacuated areas to go get back some of the mail that they had delivered. When we cover fires, especially early on, it's about evacuations, getting people out of danger, the acreage, damaged or destroyed homes, the number of firefighters. But as next viewer Elisa Reynolds points out on our Facebook page, there's an element we might miss, and she shared her thoughts with Anastasia Bolton.
Hi, honey. How you doing?
Some people.
Just wait. I'm like a walking parade float.
Like Elisa Reynolds.
I love your outfit. Thank you.
Relish attention.
Do you mind if we take your picture? No.
Some don't.
Oh.
And like Elisa's husband, Jason, have to be coaxed into taking one single photo.
He is not an attention getter. He does not like being singled out, unlike his wife. And who wears really loud hats.
Jason wears many hats too.
He basically goes to the camps. He does the ordering, managing, and he does the networking for the camps.
Firefighting camps. Jason Reynolds is one of many who support the firefighters, making their work possible.
My husband is working at the spring fire. He's part of the incident management team. And he spends 2 weeks out and 2 weeks home, and then sometimes 2 weeks back again working on all the Colorado fires.
This is the first 4th of July he's gone.
I think this is summer number 3, the 3rd summer he's been doing that.
But Elise is okay with it.
He loves mission essential type things, and this makes him feel like he's doing some good in the world.
Doing good looks different for these two.
Beautiful outfit.
Thank you. I'm part of historic Georgetown, and we had a big 4th of July parade, and it was my job to hand out flyers and information about what's coming up this summer.
Elisa is very entertaining and attention-grabbing.
Hey guys.
But that is just as important.
Him being gone, it's sort of an agreement. You go ahead and do that, and I'll hold down the fort.
In Georgetown, for Next, I'm Anastasia Bolton.
Our next question comes from Tom. With the improved shot spotters that can pinpoint where a gun is fired, can they also figure out which neighborhood down the street is blowing up M80s and cherry bombs? Well, while shot spotters can't do that, ask any dog and they'll point you in the right direction. Tom, we actually asked Denver police this question last year. They told us shot spotters know the difference between gunshots and fireworks because they're calibrated strictly for gunshots. So sorry, that technology is not going to help you bust your neighbor. Kids are taught not to play with matches, but today parents often throw those rules out the window and grab the giant kind of matches and put them in their hands. All right, I'm not trying to be the fireworks police here, but consider how long a sparkler stays hot after it loses its sparkle. This story is not about how hot sparklers can get. You know they can get hot, I know they can get hot.
So it's 644 on the tip right there, 800.
Seriously?
825, 850.
Sparklers can burn hotter than 1,000 degrees, 1,200 degrees.
If we can keep the crosshairs on the bottom of the flame there, the hottest part right around 850.
The one in front of us in this example today was as hot as 900 degrees.
600, 500.
But what we're interested in is how hot the sparkler stays after it's burned out.
380.
We watched the burnt out sparkler for 1 minute.
10 seconds.
Remember, it was as hot as 900 degrees, constantly around 600 degrees, and this is going to be in the hands of kids all over the place tonight.
20 seconds.
230 right there. It's going to be enough to, especially if you grab a hold of it tight, it's going to leave a mark.
30 seconds.
172.
As soon as the sparkler is out, what are you going to do? Maybe throw it on the ground, perhaps in the grass, which could ignite that grass.
40 seconds.
150.
Or in your trash can. And at that temperature, it could easily smolder and start a fire in your trash.
50.
136. No, I wasn't sure how long it would stay hot.
That's surprising.
It was, yeah. For that little piece of metal to stay hot that long, yeah, that's remarkable.
1 minute.
122.
Those are other firefighters in the background saying, dang. 122 degrees may not sound dangerous, but it's similar to metal bleachers that we saw outside the South Metro burn building that we were using. So picture 122 degrees like getting a quick burn on a hot metal seat, or how hot playground equipment might feel midday. The state of Colorado licensed 209 fireworks dealers around the state, and more than half of those licensees all went to just one company. American Promotional Events, called TNT Fireworks, is a wholesale fireworks vendor and actually acts as a fundraiser for youth groups, schools, and nonprofits. Basically selling fireworks to raise money. State data shows TNT Fireworks had 114 licenses to sell at various locations around the state, including 11 in Aurora, where an all-out ban means the local nonprofits and schools won't get to fundraise from fireworks this year. May I make a recommendation? This is where we point you to something, anything that isn't ours, but it's definitely worth your time, and a good catch by producer Carrie Leary. The New York Times has a really cool article that's a guide to the country's biggest 4th of July fireworks display, the Macy's 4th of July show. The coolest part is the New York Times highlights the individual fireworks, so you can actually learn the names and the origins of the fireworks, names like Margarita, Flower Sheet, and Red Swimming Stars. You can study up before watching fireworks tonight, and there's a link to this story on the next Facebook page. And if you want to watch, cheap plug, the Macy's 4th of July Spectacular will air tonight on NBC. It starts right after next, and the show after next, 7 p.m. And we're fairly certain that if you look up resilience in the dictionary, you may find Greg and Jody. Check this out. They're currently evacuated from their home because of the spring fire, and that did not stop them from getting married today at Sid's High Country Barbecue and Grill in La Vida. Always good to see some positivity out of the fires. And one more thing from Costilla County tonight. Photojournalist Chris Hansen was up early for the morning show, and he found some beauty near the spring fire. Here's a glimpse of a peaceful morning in southern Colorado. Tonight's forecast could come with fireworks, and I'm not talking about the colorful professional displays. Kathy's in with some good news, if you're in the mood for cooler temps and rain. In our continued talk with Denver's soon-to-be new police chief, he tells us how he can reduce domestic violence calls by the hundreds. And two dudes in Denver give old abandoned chairlifts facelifts. Next.
Welcome back. I hope you're enjoying your holiday. I'm meteorologist Kathy Sabin. And Mother Nature providing some fireworks of her own tonight in the form of wind and lightning, and if we're lucky, some rain. Better chance of rain and cooler weather tomorrow. And who isn't ready for cooler weather? Another day with hot highs in the 90s, and the smoke and haze has been something else. Severe storms continue to track from the southwest to the northeast. Gusty outflow winds to 60 miles per hour. These storms have had a history of producing 1-inch diameter hail. And what's this? A flash flood watch? Yeah, tomorrow some areas could see too much rain in a short amount of time. A change in the weather pattern for tomorrow with the arrival of a front to the north, moisture feeding in from the south. So tonight we'll watch these storms move out into the northeastern plains. They'll go late into the night. If you're lucky, it'll be rain. For the most part, be on the lookout for wind and lightning tonight, and then a good chance of showers tomorrow. But really the headline is the cooler weather. Chance for showers and thunder tonight. Our low 60, patchy fog east. Tomorrow mid 80s, good chance of showers starting around 2 and continuing into the evening. And then back to the 90s we go with highs over the weekend between 95 and 100 degrees, and hoping to get that game in tonight, Marshall. The Rockies play at 6:10 here. Well, actually, they first pitch, waiting on that, and isolated gusty storms are certainly a potential around the area. Might I say you've really stepped up the fashion game this week. The anchor thing suits you.
Oh boy. Can you forecast how late I'm going to stay up because of the amateur fireworks?
Very late.
Thank you. Thanks, Kathy. Domestic violence calls are some of the most dangerous law enforcement respond to. Officers have told me it's because there's usually at least one person agitated and likely not thinking straight. On Monday, Commander Paul Pazin becomes Denver's new police chief. In Denver, he said there are 2,400 domestic violence calls each year over the last 3 years, and he can cut that number by hundreds. I wanted to know how.
One area that we can improve on, what I propose and what I've seen work, is a focused deterrence model that takes care of the other side of the equation. We want to be proactive and provide resources to individuals to prevent the domestic violence incident from occurring in the first place.
So that's from the suspect point of view.
Exactly,
from
the offender side of it. If we can help them and connect them to resources, nonprofit resources, anger management resources, ways that they can help then prevent these from occurring in the first place, then that's what we need to do.
You beat out 4 other candidates to be the chief, including the deputy chief and 3 other commanders. Do the deputy chief and the 3 other commanders still have those roles with you as the boss?
So can we give credit where credit is due first? That batch of leaders in our department are immensely talented, and they have put forth a lot of work in order to help and support our community. Years and years, decades of service to this community, and any one of those candidates would do a great job in this role. Our team is going to be very diverse and very inclusive.
They're a very diverse group. Does it include them?
We're putting together a team, and we hope to have that in place as quickly as possible.
Already a veteran, a non-answer. Pazin will become chief in a ceremony inside the City and County building on Monday. Right now on the next YouTube channel, you can see our full interview, including why his officers will continue to not check the legal status of people they come in contact with. They spend their lives at work going in circles.
Chairlifts, when in operation, are a great place to have a conversation. When they're not in operation, they're an even better place to have a conversation.
How two Denver dudes are giving a winter staple a proper retirement. And we want your patriotism. Why are you proud to be an American? Send us your answer with the hashtag #HeyNext. They're not the reason to grab your skis and snowboards, but without them, your mountain experience wouldn't be very good. A couple of guys in Denver believe chairlifts are crucial to the soul of the skiing experience. They showed photojournalist Mike Grady how they can bring the mountains into your home.
We are at Ski Lift Design's global headquarters, my garage. People love skiing, and you can't be on a chairlift year-round, so in the mountains, so why not bring it into your house?
So my name is Jacques Boiteau.
I'm Matt Evans.
And we refurbish vintage double ski chairlifts from around the United States, Colorado, and Canada.
I have a great front porch that I had this great vision of sitting on a chairlift. And then when I bought my house, it was built in 1904. So everything you start peeling back turns into a bigger project than you planned. And then I decided I didn't want to put a chair in my house anymore.
We thought, heck, we'll buy a few more, sell them in Denver.
When we got the order from Stockholm,
for Facebook's installing a new office in Stockholm, and they reached out to us and said, hey, we love your center post chair. Can you ship it to Stockholm, Sweden? We went,
Yeah. I was like, you have these things in Europe, too. Finding the chairs is always interesting.
We'll have resorts reach out to us and say, hey, we're tearing out a lift. Would you guys want some?
Or you just look through the depths of the internet.
Fine. I didn't know there was a dark web for ski chair lifts, but it does exist.
We'll first sandblast all those impurities off it, get it down to the bare metal.
Start from there, do our metal fabrication work, and
once in a while you catch one real good. You either build a wood seat or metal slats to put on there.
You're easily into a chair a week and a half of man hours.
So when you fix one of these up that's served so many decades at resorts, shipped so many skiers up the mountain, you're sitting on a piece of history.
It ends up being a special product that is not only a talking point, but a reminder of good memories past, good runs had, good runs to come.
We know nothing gets by you next, viewers, and you recognize one of the guys in that story. We did a story about Matt Evans and his dog Donuts, January 2017. He adopted Donuts, a senior dog that had cancer, and we asked Matt for a Donuts update today.
Donuts is fantastic. He's sleeping right now. In the summer, he is full-blown nocturnal. We got the cancerous tumor removed right when I got him, and he's been great besides some dental issues. He has no more teeth. So just soft food, which he loves. Soft food to Donuts is like the world's finest sushi to me. He's doing fantastic, but you won't see him during the day. We're night walkers now.
Only Donuts for Donuts. How better to celebrate a 242nd birthday than ask why you're proud to be an American? Your response is next.
My name is Michael. This is Selena. Main thing about 4th of July is just remembering all the sacrifices people made, the military guys and those that came before us.
I'm proud to be an American because my grandpa came from Ghana and now he lives in Texas, and he made a family, and now he's like, we are happy and we don't have to struggle as they did in Africa.
Hi, my name is Ruby Cardenas and I am proud to be a Mexican American. I'm so blessed to be here. My family did sacrifice to come to this land of opportunity, and also I have the opportunity to show my kids that anything is possible in here in the United States.
A lot of snark today about the sparkler story. Newsflash, sparklers are hot. Yeah, and they're hot when they're out, which @mluke67 told us about on Twitter. My 5-year-old daughter handed me a sparkler that was too hot for her. She put the hot end in my hand. It was the worst pain I've ever had. Never allowed any more sparklers at my party. Sprinklers instead of sparklers, how about?